Hello?
You're all ready and waiting, eh? So much. We'll just wait for exactly 7, which is a few minutes now, and then we'll kick off. And it is going to be recorded, so people are coming afterwards. I see there's 10 of us here already. Just going to move that to the side. Put that on the side, hold on. Okay. Now watch says 7. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to our first presentation on coronavirus, COVID-19. And I'm adding into this also other serious infections. And the reason that I'm doing that is because I've seldom ever seen one or isolated one organism, or one parasite or one pathogen. They do co-host, they live together in a messy sort of a gluey biofilm. And so just to tell you all, you know, those people that are getting diagnosed with COVID-19 have also got others, and many people do have. So let's just bear that in mind. And also what I thought I'd do is let's just get some of the facts coming out of the World Health Organization straight, disseminating. Have a look at prevention, and have a look at a practical toolkit that you can look at options for prevention, and also if there are symptoms. And then tomorrow I will also post the research for the various natural products that we're speaking about, and keep everybody updated. And then what I'm wanting to do also, and I'm just speaking a little bit while people are joining, is also next Thursday, diarise, that's the 26th, same time, for longer, we'll have more of an interactive Zoom call. And thereby continually, I think, educate ourselves and continually increase our awareness, because this is really the issue here, is to not be ignorant and in fear, but to be equipped with knowledge and be very aware of the next step and where we're going with all of this. Say also that this is not the first time, as you all know, and if I am repeating myself to some of you, bear with me, this is not the first time that the world has been presented with like a pandemic and terrible serious infections and stuff. It's happened before, and you know what, we've all survived. So this is more, I think, having a look at what's in it for us on a much more deeper level. It's more of a deep-seated kind of a detox, and I think actually underneath all of this probably wasn't part of the organism appearing, but I think it's there also to do a kind of a global reset on a human level, where we can actually all bottom out, and I believe that we will all emerge as a much stronger human species in the next literally 4 to 6 weeks even. So let's just be present and obviously take preventative measures, but really look at the transformation opportunity that all of this presents to us. So in regard to the World Health Organization, the latest stats are that 207,855 cases have been reported, and there might be more. They also reported deaths, 8,648, and in South Africa we have 85 cases. So when you look at the world map, it's a really small amount compared to the congestion in Europe and Asia, and sort of starting in America a little bit. So there's 166 territories and countries involved right now. The coronavirus itself is not new, and the strains vary from the common cold to severe acute respiratory symptoms, which is SARS. And but the corona-19 is newly 2019 identified, and so there isn't obviously a vaccination yet, but they're working on it. They're going to be quite soon. So let's just talk about those symptoms so that we're all abreast with that. It definitely is spread in droplet form, and we get respiratory symptoms such as the coughing and the sneezing. We get a fever and shortness of breath. And in my experience, in my practice, hundreds of people I've seen, these are symptoms that I've seen anyway. And they're also associated with pneumonias. They're also associated with TB, with mycoplasmas. And so, like I said to you, there's always a kind of a co-hosting happening. And but nevertheless, these are the symptoms. And well, they can lead to pneumonia. They can lead to this very acute respiratory syndrome, and also kidney failure and death. So we don't want to take this lightly at all, and we really, really want to boost our immune systems. So we'll look at how we do that. But obviously and honestly, we need to take the precautions, which is washing our hands, and that's the very, very first step, because we do touch a lot of things unbeknown to ourselves, and then we do touch our face and our nose and so on, and this is actually a good way of spreading it. So we do want to wash our hands as much as possible, cover our noses and our mouths, we're sneezing and coughing, thoroughly cook meat and eggs according to the World Health Organization, and avoid contact with people who have the symptoms. There's some myths also that the World Health Organization dispels, and that you can contract the virus in all climates. So let's forget about hot or cold or snowy or whatever. They again advocating frequently washing our hands. It is definitely not transmitted by mosquitoes. A hairdryer definitely is not going to help. Interestingly also that there's a 2 to 10 day incubation period, and that's why people who have traveled to have that quarantine incubation period, and I think that protects everybody. So well, I heard recently today actually the neighbor over the road who went to Europe just came back now, and yeah, within the 2 to 10 day period now has actually contracted coronavirus. So it's happening very close to us now, and we must be aware of it. And also that it's going to affect people of all ages, especially though the immunocompromised. So the other thing also is that an antibiotic is not going to help. So please don't rush out and get an antibiotic, because obviously this is a virus. The antibiotic will get rid of the bacteria that are hosting, but not actually the virus. So let's, with that in mind, okay, and us actually obeying all of this and doing these preventative measures, let's also step back and say, okay, why do we get sick? And there's only two main reasons. And the one is that we are undernourished, and which is a really sad situation in the world today. We never had so much food in our life and availability, but we are so undernourished. And that's also for a whole nother discussion at some time. But if we're poorly nourished and we can't build the immune system, we can't build enzymes, we don't have the proteins, etc., we do subject ourselves to getting sick, out of harmony, the body. And also, if the body is blocked up, the liver, the gut, the skin, the kidneys, and the lungs, and we can't actually detoxify ourselves, we are going to get sick too, because we get a toxic buildup within us, we become acidic, there's inflammation, and it just becomes a downward spiral, degenerative tissue, etc., etc. Lots of free radicals damaging our DNA and our RNA, and really, really putting paid to anti-aging. So this causes the body to dysfunction, and depending on your weak areas, it will present in different ways. And in my practice over the years, honestly, when I can restore the cell vitality and nourish that cell and detoxify the cell, that is when we start seeing real health, because the cell can then start metabolizing and creating energy for the body. And then the immune system can get on with what it needs to do and repair and restore the body rather than fighting off all the toxins. So this I measure routinely. When people come in, we do a live microscope, live blood analysis, and we do also a quantum SCIO analysis, which gives me 11,000 frequencies, not only physical, but also neurological, emotional, and spiritual, and we validate those risk factors. So getting to root causes is the most critical thing. No matter if it's coronavirus or any other viruses in the future that we are exposed to. So we need to get to the root causes. We need to validate those risk factors so we have a baseline. Then we realign the body, and I'll get to the toolkit in a moment. And then we track progress. And in that way, we can actually shift ourselves from illness to wellness. And that's really my main aim and my objective. I've been posting in our WhatsApp group, and there's been lots of it floating around. But Joshua Coleman actually that's probably the best post I've seen so far, where he talks about the fact that the cells can't detox. So you can imagine a cell just getting more and more and more and more full of toxins and eventually just rupturing. And we need to reverse that. And that's what we do at 365 Healthy by Choice. We focus on prevention. And also the fact that we have a choice 365 days a year. You can even say 24/7. You can even say every hour, every day, every minute, to actually choose health. And that is the best thing we can do for ourselves. Health is the new wealth, let's put it that way. So also, when we have this co-hosting, just to talk about that as well, there's a biofilm, and we need to understand that a biofilm protects all these little organisms, and it needs to be broken down as well. And I'm going to show you some part of my toolkit and options that actually do that. So the first thing that we look at, as I said to you, when we do our assessment of risk factors, is absolutely a live blood analysis. It's in your face. We can see the parasites literally. They're not named. And then we move over onto the SCIO Quantum, which works. It's a scientific device developed at NASA, where we have a look at the 11,000 frequencies. We get the root causes out, and we can then start rebalancing. How do we rebalance? The bioresonance quantum frequencies from the device, because it will give it back to your body in exactly the frequency that you need for that same length of time. We can also use food state nutrients. We use adaptogenic herbs. We use an alchemical product, almost gold. We use oxygen in capsule and liquid form. We use a paramagnetic zeolite, and I posted a bit of research on the zeolite right now. It's paramagnetic rock, and it really attracts toxins. And we also do live fermented probiotics. So with that in mind, I'm going to show you what we've put together. Again, as I said to you, it's just for options. So we put together a prevention kit. And inside here, you can see the products, and I will just show you one by one how it looks and so on. So one of the first products that I mentioned to you would be the food state nutrients. And this is the stress defense shield. And just bear with me, because I really want this session to be raising awareness and educational. So if you do know what I'm talking about, as I say, bear with me. If you don't, then listen up. So what I put together was a group of nutrient dense foods in the food state form as nature intended it, so that the body. I don't profess to know more than nature or more than the body. So I would rather put the building blocks in place and let the body choose what it wants, when it wants, and in which form. So even the vitamin C, the phyto C that we have, there's 12 antioxidants, and the body will choose which form, which structure it needs right then and there. And I learned that from actually the biodynamic organic gardening that I did, when we raised soil fertility by putting in a huge cross-section of natural things like the volcanic rock dust, kelp, spirulina, almost gold, probiotics, and letting the plant choose what it wants, when it wants. Okay, and that's how we can get alignment. So there's over 30 nutrient-dense foods and herbs in here. The algae, blue-green spirulina, chlorella, the 6 medicinal mushrooms in here. Also lots and lots of adaptogenic herbs. And for those newly into the group as well, adaptogenic herbs means that herb adapts with you. So if there's a road rage, it will come in and meet you and control things. If you need to sleep and relax, it will let you sleep and relax. It works differently within each different body. And this is where the intelligence of nature is. The minute we start processing, extracting, freezing natural products, that's when we lose the innate intelligence of the plant and we destroy the DNA, we disturb it. And then it becomes almost unrecognizable by the body, and the body has to use its own energy to actually recreate the product or the organism or the molecule or the atom, so it can use it, and that takes energy. We would rather give the body products that are going to help it raise its energy and not use the valuable source. And then again, the immune system will do what it needs to do. So in this product, and all of this, by the way, is on the website, and there's notes and information, and I also have a beautiful brochure with each product and what it does and what's inside it and dosages and everything, so that we can really raise our awareness. Yeah, I'm very proud to be a practitioner that's really harnessed our food is our medicine and our medicine is our food. I think that Hippocrates really meant this. He meant the high frequency foods, the foods that have a very tight electron spin around the proton and the neutron, if you can think of your science lectures. So we have a proton and neutron in the middle, and we have the electrons circulating around it. And the tighter they are to that proton and neutron, the higher the frequency, the more energy it's going to give our bodies. So everything is energy, from the sun to the photosynthesis of the plants to the way we take in food. These high frequency foods have got a very tight electron spin. They also have almost gold in them naturally because they are grown specifically with the certificate of analysis. So just bear that in mind, because everything that we've put together here is, as I say, as nature intended, and I compounded it based on what I saw in my practice. So this is our best go-to insofar as natural food state foods is concerned. And I will be talking on food state versus synthetic supplements in one or two of our talks to come. So you can rest assured there's no fillers or binders either. Also in our prevention box, we have what I spoke to you earlier in the toolkit is a live probiotic. And this has got between 80 and 120 live strains. And the also comes with a certificate of analysis from Japan, confirming that those organisms are in there. And grown and fermented in the same cloud that the animals breathe, the plants breathe, the soil breathes, etc. So these are the microbes that we need. But what's very important in here as well is not only the variety, is that we have live enzymes in here. Enzymes for oxygen transferase, allowing the body's oxygen to transfer from the lungs through into the blood. Very, very critical, especially in lung infections, especially. So they will also detox the body. That's very important, and you would do a teaspoon 3 times a day. And then we've got the Almost Gold, and I've got some other YouTubes where we are really going to each product in depth, and I've got training courses as well. This product is salt to gold, and it's in an M state, monatomic state, and it's also copper, nickel, iridium, palladium, rhodium, and things that are now being researched and documented to target degenerative cells. So that's all in the medical sphere right now. And I like to use the Almost Gold specifically because it also crosses the blood-brain barrier and detoxes. Gold is the biggest detoxifying element, and it nourishes every single cell and around the cells, and also helps develop and boost and grow the RNA and the DNA. And that is the secret to our longevity and our anti-aging, specifically when we add it together with the one product called RNA DNA replica. And this is a cell wall fragment, bacterial cell wall fragment. And it contains the 5 proteins that are necessary for RNA and DNA: uracil, guanine, adenine, cytosine, and thymidine. And if we are trying to restore the DNA and build our immunity at the same time, we need those 5. And working together with the ormus, those little spokes in the DNA double helix are actually anchored by proteins. So the Almost Gold, the RNA DNA, the microbiome reset are all working together to enhance and boost our immune system. We also have a cell oxygen. Now, oxygen works very specifically. And what it does is it actually changes the pH inside the cell to start attracting food and oxygen inside. It also changes the cell membrane charge of the cell membrane. And bearing in mind, if we're getting enough cold pressed flaxseed oil and things like that, the cell membrane is super healthy, and because half of it is made of oils, and then we can start getting the right oxygen and food into the cell, and then we can start detoxifying the waste. This is key. This is the key thing about, can that cell detoxify itself? And then if it can do that and attract the oxygen and the food in, but specifically the oxygen, it can then undergo metabolism and produce energy for us, and we can live. So all of this is about bringing oxygen in and detoxifying the body. So we have this in capsule and also in liquid form. And also in the box, I'm just going to pull out some, what I managed to do was get 8 products all together. We have the Limes Gold. Now, Limes Gold is one of my favorite products. They're all favorite, but anyway, this one has got the top antifungal, antivirus, and antibacterial. And what this then ensures you is that when the herbs and that get through that biofilm, which by the way is broken down by enzymes, they're a tripholyte-based product, and oxygen and enzymes, the organisms are all addressed in one go. All right, so that's what the Limes Gold does, and even spirochetes and rickettsias and things. And then we've got the Phyto-C, which has got over 12 organisms. 12 active ingredients, and as I said to you, across the color spectrum, from literally raw cacao, which is a brownie, a baobab, which is cream, across the greens, the trifolas, the green teas, the turmerics, which is gold, the acai berry, which is purple. And in these natural forms, in this state, the body can choose what it wants. This is the best. Phyto-C, this is what we need to protect ourselves, to prevent. All right, vitamin C is researched to show this. Okay, so that's very important. And then also specifically the lung cleanse and restore. And this product is specifically developed, and along with flaxseed oil. Why? Because flaxseed oil, I've talked about the cell membrane, but also it coats the mucous membranes of the gut and of the respiratory tract. Absolutely critical and essential, especially for oxygen to transfer through as well. So in the lung cleanse, we have specific ingredients to cleanse and restore. I've got things in here like bee pollen, which are essential. There are 5,000 enzymes in bee pollen, which is essential for breaking mucus down and cleaning the lungs for us. It's also got cordyceps, which is a medicinal mushroom, essential for people with severe acute respiratory infections. And a whole host of also reishi mushrooms and adaptogenic herbs, etc., to clean those lungs and make sure they're clear. So this is a box of 8 products that is going to work on prevention. Okay, and I would say a month or 2 to get over this sort of period when we are on high alert and where the virus is quite virulent. And then I've also got another box which comes in and also the same space, which deals with symptoms, and it has the same products, except it just has much larger versions of the Limes Gold, the RNA, the DNA, and the Stress Defense Shield, the Almost Gold, and the Microbiome Reset, and Oxygen. So that's my best shot at right now covering ourselves for all these little infections that are going on. Naturally, I've seen the results in my current patients, and I see the results on the skill. I see the results on my microscope, which is always there, and it's always on because I'm always looking and making sure and checking. And not only that, I can see the effect on the white blood cell. Almost Gold works immediately. You can see the white blood cell starts enlarging and moving across the screen. The red blood cells fluff out and they get that zeta potential, beautiful, lovely, and they start moving around. Obviously, we need to drink enough water and breathe properly and ground ourselves and all those other things that come into place as well. So I've seen and I'm sharing with you, these are options. Honestly, there really are options for you, for us to take forward based on my research and, as I said to you, remove these root causes And then what we've also recently put forward now, also with all the sprays that are on the market out there, is we have a disinfectant, which is also an oxygen-based disinfectant. And we've got a 50 spray, and we've also got a 100 spray, which we're using for wounds, actually. So these are all available on the website, currently already on the website, in different sizes. And we have a very special ladies handbag one, which is, again, a disinfectant. So we've moved from sanitization now actually to disinfection, which is far more powerful. And then the wound spray, as I said to you, that is 100%. And this one, I'm happy to say I've closed very, very large wounds. And there are many testimonials on the website as well, which I urge you to go and have a look at. And then, yeah, to end off, there's some very exciting news as well for every participant. And I see many, 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 many of you there. And thank you so much for coming in. There's people from all around the world. And thank you for your questions. I already have a whole lot on my WhatsApp, and I'm going to address. And each one of you is going to get this code, which is small c -virus, VIRUS, and that entitles you to a 5% discount on the website. And this is until the 23rd of March. So I thought that's and then also there's specials right now on assessments, and anything ranging from 500 Rand for half an hour to the full Monty, which is 2.5 hours of microscope and quantum and nutrition and detox, which is now on special also at about 3,500, normally 4,500. So there's lots of specials there, and also the box of goodies. Also, you're saving about 1,000 Rand by buying with the box. The one for symptoms, the box for symptoms, I would probably recommend for 3 months, just so that you're absolutely clear. And bear in mind, you're also going to be clearing yourselves of horrible toxins and chemicals, and as well as all the parasites. So we have our talk next Thursday on the 26th, 7 p.m. exactly the same time. Send through what you want us to discuss. There is a talk on cell vitality and raising our immunity on Sunday, the 5th of April. And that's all going well. At the moment, we allowed apparently 50 people at any one time in any one gathering. So let's just see how we go with that. That might have to be also remote viewing. And I've told you about the shop, which is 365healthybychoiceshop.com. And the very best news is this scientific device that I have works in the virtual space. And that means you don't have to come to me and I don't have to go to you, which is absolutely ideal in today's climate. This is really where I think the products that I have and the devices for right now. And that's also why I've formed this group, and I want to really get the education out and the awareness. So anyone who's sick, anyone who wants to be also assessed, we have the coronavirus nosode already on the device, and also its frequency. So we can actually, look at warding off these ugly things and prevention. With that, I'm going to end. It's been wonderful being with you, and I hope that you have learned a lot. And please share this information. This is recorded, and Caroline has promised me she's going to put it onto the group. Caroline, I hope you're hearing that. All right. Thank you very much.